Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Chatting with Chops, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen and I like to make fun and entertaining videos that might teach you something. And today we're going to make vegan cinnamon rolls for two. So let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to tell you was on one of these recipes, you'll have to forgive me because I make lots of notes all over my recipes, but you'll have like the regular ingredients. And what I recommend to do is if you want to half it, this one makes a full giant sheet pan of cinnamon rolls. And obviously I don't need that many. So what I normally do is I take the first set of ingredients that I need to use, and then I found this great conversion page on the Nebraska-Lincoln Extension Lancaster County website. It kind of came up. It's fantastic because it tells you, it does the measurements for you, and the conversion, it'll do a half and a third of a recipe. And then it also has some great information about different pan sizes and how to, to half things and all of that. And then it also has like tablespoons and cups, pints, some measurements down here. So what I normally do is I'll take the beginning recipe, put my conversion chart next to it. Yeah, they're both plastic wrap because we know I'm a messy cook. And then I'll convert the ingredients over. And then also to help you from accidentally looking at this and forgetting that you were halving it, is I usually try and lace a piece of paper over the top of it. Now keep in mind too, you need to look down through the directions, because like our very first direction is combine 2 cups of flour. Okay, well that's going to be if you're using the original recipe. So I try to make myself little notes of, hey, I'm not going to be using the 2 cups, I'm only using 1 cup. So that's how we're going to start this recipe. Okay, so we need to put 1 cup of flour. Let's get some of our stuff out of the way here. We need 1 cup of flour in our bowl. And again, I'm showing you how to cut this recipe down, because sometimes these recipes make 18, 20, 25, and you just don't need that much of any one thing when it's just the 2 of you, or if you're making a small batch for a cookout or something. All right, now we're going to do 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of our sugar. So 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of sugar. Okay. And now we're going to take and put our yeast in here, our dry yeast. And I just use Fleischmann's. That's my favorite kind of yeast to use. And I like using the little packets because they're already pre-measured most of the time. When you read recipes, it'll say 1 packet or 2 packets. All right, and then we're going to put the salt in here. And since this recipe doesn't ask for a lot of salt, it's going to be easy for me to stick with what we need. So we're going to put a ½ teaspoon of salt in there. Separate bowl, we want to put our water, which is 3/4 of a cup of water, and then we want to put butter, which is 3 tablespoons of butter. And yes, this recipe is very easy to convert over to vegan, so you can use vegan butter. So it's 3 tablespoons. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the microwave and get it warmed up to about 120 to 130 degrees. And what that does is it's going to help our yeast grow. So we're going to stick that in the microwave and see if we can get it warmed up. So we've microwaved our 3/4 cup of water and 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just checking it with a regular kitchen thermometer to make sure that it's between 120 and 130, and it is. So I'm going to pour that in there, and I'm just going to give that a little stir. We're waiting for our yeast to kind of activate a little bit over here. I wanted to show you a really cool trick. The recipe calls for 1 egg, and my vegans are going to love this, because a really easy way to do half an egg is just use half of a 4-ounce little applesauce container. So you're just using 2 ounces and that makes your egg. So there's how to make it vegan and super easy. But should you choose not to make it vegan, doing a half an egg, okay, how are you gonna do that? So the trick is that you pour in a measuring cup, get half, put your whole egg. Now this only works if the recipe asks for a whole egg. So we've got our egg in here. Now we're gonna stir that up a little bit and kind of scramble it so much. So it's all nice and mixed together. So what you want to do is, it's measuring this particular egg, which is a medium to a large egg. When I buy them at the grocery store, it measures out to be 1.5 ounces. So what I want to do is, I want to measure out 0.75 ounces to have a half an egg. And that's how you get a half an egg into your recipe. All right, so I have my half an egg that I'm going to add to my mixture. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up for about 2 minutes. So then the next step we want to do is add a half a cup of flour. Alright, and then we're going to mix that 2 minutes at high speed. I say start out a little bit slow so you don't sling flour all over your kitchen. So at this point what we're going to do is we're going to continue to add the remaining flour until this starts pulling away from the side of the bowl and starts forming a ball. And I say start slow, small increments. You don't want to add like a whole cup of flour in here and then your dough is going to be way too dry. So I'm starting with another half a cup and we're going to see where that takes us. Let's bring it out. And then we're going to knead it for a few minutes. I don't have any fancy kneading techniques. I'm sure there's some great videos out there on how to do that. But all I basically do is I just kind of twirl and bend and kind of squish it onto itself. Okay. All right. I'll set it here and give it about 10 minutes. We've been halving this recipe up to this point, but I don't think that you can have enough filling on cinnamon rolls, so I'm not going to half the filling. I might regret it in the end. It might be too much, but all right. And then we're going to take 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. I love cinnamon. So we have our 3. And we're just going to mix that together, and you're just going to set that aside until you need it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of flatten him out. And you can certainly use a rolling pin if you'd like. I mean, you just want to make sure you get a lot of flour on your rolling pin, and you can roll him out that way. So now what we want to do is we want to put our melted butter on here. We got our butter on here, and now we're going to very liberally put our sugar cinnamon mixture on here. And again, I really like cinnamon, so I am definitely not going to be scrimpy about this. But I'm going to show you this really cool tool of how to cut cinnamon rolls. Dough, anyway. What you want to use is just regular dental floss. Now this is like unflavored, unscented, all of that. And we're going to use dental floss. Okay, so just have that there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our dough and we're going to slowly start writing it. That's why we made it into a rectangle, because we're going to roll it this way. Just kind of get a nice tight roll. Because the tighter you get it, the more likely that your cinnamon rolls are going to stay all nice and tight and together when you bake them and when you want to eat them. Okay. Oh, I didn't lose too much that way, did I? So now what you're going to want to do is take your baking sheet, whichever size that you think you might need, and spray it with some Pam or some sort of cooking spray because you don't want anything to stick. Okay. We're just going to set that right there so we can get to it. And then you're going to take your dental floss and put it on one end and just bring it together like this. And then just give it a nice little pinch. Now that's our first one. Look at there. Isn't that nice and pretty? And I try to make sure that that end swirl is kind of up against something. That way they won't try to unroll. So for the most part, you can pretty much say that you made 8. So that would be a lovely thing to take to like a small dinner party or to a little birthday party or something that you need to bring. Or if you just want to make cinnamon rolls for the 2 of you and have them for a day or 2. So now we're just going to put the towel back over these guys and let them rest for about an hour. All right, so here we are after an hour of letting our cinnamon rolls sit, and I hope that you can tell by the film that they have definitely plumped up very, very pretty. They have basically filled the whole glass container. So now we are going to cook these at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay. So now the first thing we need to do is put our 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And then we're going to put 2 cups of confectionery sugar. One. And 2. And then we want to make sure we get our vanilla in. So again, I like to use vanilla bean paste. And so we're going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. I'll put just a little dab extra. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon of hot water, one at a time, till we get it to the consistency that we're looking for. Everything's been mixed in real well. So really all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to pour it over my cinnamon rolls. And because I have plenty of ingredients left over, if it's not enough, then I can just make another batch. And then what I'll do is I'll take my kitchen knife, just a regular kitchen knife, and kind of spread it around on them a little bit. Or you can take a spatula, just kind of give them a good, make sure they're good and covered. Whoop, got that one a little bit too much. I think it's trying to go over the edge on us. I don't want to waste any of that. But see how I was saying it helps if they're a little bit spaced out because you can get the icing on the sides. You want it to all get down on the sides of them too. Okay, let's see if we'll have enough to go on the rest of them. We might have to make another batch. You don't want to be, nobody wants barely iced cinnamon rolls, or at least I know nobody in my family does. We like our icing. And again, the main thing is to get it all over the top to make sure the tops are good and iced. If you can get it down the sides too, that's fantastic. I think we have enough. We're not going to need to make another batch. All right, so there you have it, some beautiful cinnamon rolls. So we're just going to let those rest for a minute, and then we'll plate them up and see how they taste. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And as I said before on some of my other videos, I have started a new channel, Karen Norwood Travels. So if you want to go check that out, please do so, and I will catch you on the next video.